What's going on YouTube? Today we're just going to do a quick setup and initial speed test of T-Mobile's home internet. They recently sent me an email that 5G was just lit up in my area, and after doing some speed tests around town, I was getting well over 700, even 800 megabits down. So I'm super excited to test this out. I'm hoping my cell phone speed test is going to translate into the home internet gateway here. But let's just go ahead. Again, we're going to set it up. We're going to configure it. We're going to see what this is all about. So if you want to know anything in particular about the 5G modem from T-Mobile, let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, since my initial review, this is up 10 bucks. Now it's $60 a month. So depending on where you live, this might be a great option for you. Again, the T-Mobile chat support said I should expect nothing less than 100 megabits down. So let's go ahead, test it out, and see what it's all about. Inside the box, this is everything that you get. Here's the Ethernet cable, the power adapter, and then you have some quick start guides and whatnot. I'll walk you through this in just a little bit as well. But this is their brand new 5G modem, and it's definitely different from the white box I reviewed a couple months ago. You can see on the back here, you get 2 LAN ports. You also have an inactive telephone port. Maybe they'll enable some sort of VoIP in the future. There's a USB-C on or off, and then you have a little UPS backup option there as well. So if you want to hook this up to a UPS, you can. And that's basically it. So let's go ahead, set it up together. And again, we're going to do some initial speed tests and kind of see what's going on. Inside my house, I have about 30 plus devices connected at all times. That's smart lights, that's computers, servers, etc., etc. So I'm going to see how all of that does with T-Mobile's home internet service, because a lot of people will have a lot of devices, but let's just plug it in and see what it's all about. You do need an application as well. It's the T-Mobile home internet. So just go to your app store and download it. Now let's check out the setup guide here. So this is a touch screen. Let's click on English. Download the T-Mobile home internet application. So here we are. Let's go ahead and click on Setup Device. Next, what you have to do is just go ahead and scan the QR code on the bottom of your home gateway there. As we're waiting for the 2 minutes to be up, I am here in New York City, so if you are in New York or you're anywhere else and you do have the 5G modem, I'm kind of curious to find out what your speeds are. I'm really curious to see what my speed is as well. After getting 800, I don't know if you can tell on my voice, but I'm super excited. I'm hoping to get 800, and the low end, I'm hoping at least 200. But let me know where you are and what speeds you have and what overall enjoyment or lack of you have with T-Mobile's internet. Is there something I should know about this? Is there some issues with it? You guys that have had it for a couple months, let me know down in the comments below. But our 2 minutes is just about up, so I'm hoping that's about it. Next, it's going to prompt you to change your Wi-Fi network name and your Wi-Fi password. That's basically it. You can go around your home and kind of see where the best place is. I'm going to do that off camera, but I kind of want to see what sort of speeds I can expect. And while we're rebooting that, let's go ahead and see what kind of speed tests I'm getting here in the office just on my cell phone. Now, I know I'm not in the best area, so you can see I'm only getting about, maybe about 6 megabits down. Again, that's not really great, but I am kind of curious to see if this gets a better signal than what's on my phone. So on the top of the screen, you can see your connection signal. You can see how many devices are connected. You can see if it's charging, so it seems that it does have a built-in battery. And if we go to settings, you can change your language, and if there's any alerts, it'll let you know there, and as well as any messages. So that's basically it. Let's delete that message from T-Mobile. So let's just take a look at the app together again, guys, and see what kind of information we get on the app itself. So you can see your connection status right over there. You'll see how many devices you have connected. So I have 1 device connected, and you can set some times for this device to be disconnected on your network. That could be some parental controls as well. See the signal strength, the IP address, and the MAC address as well. And that's basically it, I guess. You can't really see anything else. Let's just go back and do a speed test from my tablet on T-Mobile's gateway. Now remember, on my phone, I only got about 6 megabits down. So already this is a lot faster than my phone, 44 versus the 5 or 6 that was on my phone. Another way that you can connect to the actual router itself is just by opening up a web page, and it seems that you're getting a lot more information. And that's 192.168.12.1 if you're interested in kind of checking that out for yourself. Now right away it says Mesh Wi-Fi 6 system. So I don't know if T-Mobile is going to allow you to create a mesh network sometime in the future. That would be super awesome. That would definitely be something super cool. You can see your signal strength right over there. There's a secondary signal as well. If we go to status, you'll see how much data you've actually been using. You can also see, well, the status of your Ethernet and your Wi-Fi as well. Going into Wi-Fi networks, again, I really recommend the web interface versus their home app. The home application constantly crashed on me. It wasn't really a pleasurable experience, and you don't get a lot of information. If you just go to the web interface, you get a lot more information. You can also change your SSIDs. So on the 2.4 gigahertz networks, you have access to create 4 different SSIDs. And if you go to the 5 gigahertz tab, you have access to create 6 SSIDs as well. And speaking of signal strength, I had no problems connecting to the home gateway from T-Mobile. Even when I brought it here to the office, one level down, I was still able to get a stable connection. In my apartment, usually signal is a little bit weak towards the back of the apartment. I still was able to get a strong connection, so I'm definitely impressed with this. It does get a little hot. If you notice, sometimes if you put your hand over the top here, you do feel quite a bit of heat. But I am happy with this Wi-Fi 6 gateway from T-Mobile. It gives you tons of bands, tons of SSIDs, and I am happy with the overall signal strength of T-Mobile's home gateway. Now, speaking of signal strength, for some reason my secondary signal here goes out completely. I'll have full connection, or at least 4 bars, and all of a sudden it'll turn off. I don't know why exactly that is. It kind of has a mind of its own when it wants to connect to that secondary signal and when it doesn't. I don't know if that's some sort of network prioritization going on. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I do know that sometimes I get 4 signals and all of a sudden it goes out. And it is a little bit picky, guys. I'm not going to lie. You're going to have to find that perfect spot. But I am happy to say that when you do find the perfect spot, you can connect to T-Mobile's 5G network. I was able to connect to T-Mobile's 5G service, but again, it's a little bit weird. There was a rainstorm last night. I was in the middle of watching Godzilla versus King Kong. I had full secondary signal strength, but my primary strength went from 4 to 2 all of a sudden when it started raining. And even though my secondary signal was still 4, I lost complete internet connection. I did have to reboot this, so that makes me a little bit wary. Now, 24 hours later, I am happy to say I'm definitely impressed with T-Mobile's second iteration of their home gateway here. The 4G LTE modem was okay, but my speeds weren't really that great, and even just connecting to T-Mobile's 4G network on the 5G modem here, I get a lot faster speeds. So speaking of speeds, I rarely saw underneath 100 megabits. I think I got 66 on the low end, 70 on the low end, and I've been testing it like crazy for the past 24 hours at different times, peak times, and I still managed to get close to that 100 megabits down, whether it was 90 or whether it was 110. The max I got was 130. Now, in terms of gameplay, I know a lot of you want to know about games. I've read online people have no problems playing games. I'm not a huge gamer, but I am going to test it out with Stadia. So if you want to know about gaming, let me know down in the comments below, or maybe some other fellow T-Mobile home gateway user can chime in down in those comment sections. But 50 was the ping time, 40 was the average. I never really got less than 40, maybe about 35. But the speeds were pretty good, and there's a caveat to that. If you do a lot of torrenting, which I actually may or may not have been torrenting last night, if you're doing a lot of upload as well as download, you will notice a little bit of lag, a little bit of stutter if you're trying to browse the web at the same time that the home gateway is receiving and sending tons and tons of data. That's just something that you can expect, but if you're just downloading, I had three 4K movies going on at the same time, and there was no issues with that. The issue comes when you're uploading a lot and downloading at the same time. But overall, I've been really happy with the speeds. If you want to get some more advanced features, like maybe some port forwarding, if you want to change the DNS to an ad block, etc., plug in your existing router. That's all I had to do. Now, you might have to enter in your WAN settings manually. My router just picked it up automatically, and I was able to change the DNS, and I was able to get a little bit more of an advanced feature set out of my home router when connected to T-Mobile's gateway. So for the advanced user, you're definitely going to want to plug in some peripherals. For the average user who just wants to plug and play, this is a great solution. Again, I'm actually impressed with the speeds. I think the speeds were pretty decent. I think the speeds, other than that time it just cut out during a rainstorm right in the middle of Godzilla versus King Kong, I think this is a great idea. I think it's a great solution. I think it's something that a lot of people are going to enjoy, especially if you're fed up with your current ISP. One more thing I just want to mention about T-Mobile's 5G gateway. For some reason, unlike the previous generation, which allowed you to use it on that battery backup for a couple hours, which I was really impressed with, when you lose power, this switches to battery backup, but then it disconnects the Wi-Fi, so you're not able to use it with the built-in battery. I guess that's why they have this option to connect a UPS, but I just think that's a little bit weird. I really like the option of a built-in battery that if power goes out, you're still going to be connected. There's going to be no interruption in service. So maybe they can push an update for that and re-enable that battery function sometime in the future. But as of right now, you're not able to use this on battery. So that just makes me wonder why even include a battery backup in the first place when it's not really a backup. After 24 hours, what are my thoughts on the 5G modem from T-Mobile? I really like it. Unlike their previous offering, which I had to return, I think this is a great idea. The speeds are pretty decent. If you're in an apartment, if you're 1 or 2 or 3 people, this is a great option, at least if you get a minimum of 100 megabits down. The upload is no problem. The upload was usually 30, 40, 50, so the upload is really good. I can recommend it. Again, it depends on what you have in your area, and let me know down in the comments below what speeds you are getting with T-Mobile's 5G home internet. I can only see this getting better. Supposedly there's a 5G tower right down the block, less than half a block from my apartment, but I still was not able to get those super fast speeds. Maybe they haven't fully enabled that tower. I don't really know what's going on, but I kind of wish I was getting a little bit more than 100. Now, is this something that I'm going to keep? I know I returned the other one. I am going to keep it for a little bit. I am going to continue to test it because I did read online that some people said after about a week, for some mysterious reason, they did get faster and faster service. I don't know how exactly that's possible, but I am quite interested in it, and I do like the overall aspect of it. If you're in an apartment, this is a great option. If you're just fed up with your ISP and you want to give them the boot, this is a great option as well. Again, it all depends on your speeds. It all depends on your needs. For me, I do have to connect my router to it because I do need some port forwarding and I do need some advanced options. So I'm going to continue to test that out. And if you want to know about it, I'll let you know down in the comments below. But I like this offering. Again, I like the style. I like the design. And I am liking the speed, actually. If I was just one person with 100 megabits down, this would be all I would need. But let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know what your speeds are where you are. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time.